Well, I felt very sad.
Complete shock and surprise, along with the rest of the department.
Completely surprised. Completely surprised.
I was a bit shocked, but at the same time, you know, universities do this stuff, you know, all the time. They cut programs, they cut majors, they cut sports. I'm definitely surprised that Emory is doing it.
Felt like I hadn't any notice. I was surprised. I was sad.
The first time I heard about the departmental cuts was from reading the email, which felt really abrupt. It felt very like a sudden decision that was made just out of nowhere. Like there had been some meeting and then they just sort of put the results of the meeting on an email and sent it out to everyone.
When I got the email itself and I read it, I was so angry because not only did the administration not tell the students about it, they didn't even tell the faculty about it.
If somebody comes to you and says, I'm cutting your department, is that okay? It's not going to be the best kind of consultation. And what he did was he consulted with colleagues through this financial advisory committee and other ways. So I'm not exactly, so my impression is yes, he's communicated it very well. He thought it out very carefully. There's no good time to cut people.
There was never any communication with us. So not only was there no due process, there was absolutely no attempt made to engage with us as a community, or to collaborate with us with the community, or to take us on board as a community, or to co-opt us into their greater vision and say, okay, this is what we have in terms of vision of Emory going forward. What can you guys contribute? Nobody spoke with us.
A lot of people on my floor who wanted to go into educational studies and journalism, and they went to Emory with the intention of majoring in journalism. They chose Emory's journalism program over others, and now those programs are clearly much better than any other universities because Emory's no longer exists.
Well, me personally, I'm more so on the medical side of things, and that's where most of my friends lie. So we are unpleased, but at the same time, for us personally, it's one of those things where we know people who are in the situation and who basically got the lower end of the stick since those departments got cut. But at the same time, us personally, it hasn't been a direct effect, but at the same time, we're all one body here at Emory, and whatever affects the next person also affects us.
Everybody that I've talked to is really angry because, you come to this top 20 school expecting to have as much available to you as they promised, and now they're going back on their word on it, essentially. And I was trying to get my cousin to come here, and now I don't want him to come here because he's not going to have the opportunity that at least I'm still available to have as a junior.
There should have been a lot more warning that this was coming instead of just through kind of PDF file in my inbox. But I will say, for the record, I do trust the administration and in particular somebody like Dean Foreman to make good decisions for this university, and that hasn't necessarily changed based on the recent happenings with the budget cuts. But I do think that there are a lot of discussions that the university needs to have at this point with the student body about the level of transparency.
I don't even think there was any rational thought into it.
I don't understand them because it seems to be he's trying to play Emory's strengths, but without a well-rounded education, I don't think Emory can be really be taken seriously. I mean, if you cut a language, how do you expect to have a solid poli-sci department when people can't even speak international languages?
The dean needs to be able to lead by academic vision. And so redistribution of funds is something that I understand. I understand completely, and I'm always in favor of really good academic vision. But in this case, there are no data that I can see. There are no peer review. Of course, it's a financial decision, but it's not entirely a financial decision. So I simply have no idea what not entirely a financial decision means.
I mean, I understand what the dean is saying, and that he has this vision for Emory College, and that journalism and other small departments don't really fit into that. I mean, I understand that he's saying that. I just don't agree with him. And I think it's unfortunate that I think the conversation right now about journalism is a very important one. And it's unfortunate Emory's not really going to be a full-fledged participant in that conversation anymore.
You know, there are processes. There's due process. And I'm just not sure that you can bring something good, you can create something good out of a process which is, I think, flawed.
It definitely kind of takes away the liberal arts aspect, since we're definitely big on liberal arts and now we're diminishing our visual arts department. So it's kind of hard to view Emory as a liberal arts college when you don't have a visual arts, or you take out a big chunk of the arts department as a whole.
It's going to be very, very negative. And it's not just because of the cuts, but the administration has shown no clear vision of whatever their brand they're trying to make is. It seems like they're making it up as they go. It seems like no one has any idea where the ship is sailing, and that's going to make a lot of people panic and a lot of people doubt Emory's prestige.
I don't think it'll affect it in a negative way all that much. I think it'll help in the future.
I have absolutely no doubt that there is some damage done already to our ranking. You know, we're 20th. I will not be surprised if just the act of cutting the economics PhD program will not have a deleterious effect on that ranking. I hope it won't be too much, because my goal is never to hurt Emory. This is the place that I think of as home for me. And so I want the Emory to retain its reputation and become even better, if possible, going forward. So it really irks me personally that we were not consulted. There was no effort made to paint a vision of the future and how we could play a constructive role in that vision.
I don't necessarily think it will harm Emory's reputation per se. I do think if the university continues to make decisions without a lot of student input, especially on the part of what degrees can you earn here, then we're going to be in an unfortunate position.
I think the real point here is the leadership that we take from now on. If Emory College, and this is I think the Dean's mission, if Emory College is part of a Research One university with a liberal arts core, then we do have to protect that liberal arts core, and we have to develop it in exciting ways for our students and for our alumni and for our donors and for the public. So I think it's not so much looking back on what's happened. The process could have been better, all right? It's where we go from here and the vision that we need to take from here, so that we actually do provide a better Emory for our students. That's, I think, the goal of this whole process.